It's the morning of September 2nd. We're in western Nebraska, and yesterday, opening day, Josh shot a giant whitetail. We glassed him up from the top of a hill, watched where he bedded, got in close. It's about a 10-hour hunt, 6-hour stalk on our bellies, but we made it happen, and it was a lot of fun. So we both came up to the glass and knob again this morning, and so far I've seen 57 mule deer. And the last group I saw looked like 13 bucks in a bachelor group. And I think I know where they're bedded. I saw them go into a little finger of trees, and I haven't seen them come out. I can see kind of all the way around it, and haven't seen any of them come out. So I think they bedded in there. It's nice and shady. They should have some good wind in there, so I'm hoping they're bedded in there. They're kind of close to the fence line, but if they are there, then I think I have a really good chance at getting close to them.
I don't see anything on this side of the hill. It should be just on the back side of that one. I saw at least 6 or 7 bucks, so there's got to be more of it, I'm pretty sure. The wind's blowing this way, so we're going to try to slip down here. There's a little bit of a ridge line that runs down, and we can probably just pop up over and watch them. I see 4. There's a 2x1 and 2x2. I think a small little 2x2 and then a 4x4. They're all bedded facing that one. We're probably about 70 yards now. That's exciting. I'm so glad we found him. I was pretty nervous that one time we spooked him or something. It's perfect. pretty similar, but one is about 10 to 15 inches bigger. It's just hard to tell. I don't think that one there was the biggest, actually. I think there's a bigger one, but he was still nice. Let's go. You can slaughter. Yeah, let's go to the max. It's still pretty early, so. It's 117.
We're right on the property line, so we can't go the way we want, but I think we're just gonna try to slip right down in the bottom and get on top, circle around, and there's a little ditch right, probably, I think it's about 40 yards from where they're bedded now. So if we can slip down that ditch, that's kind of our only option right now. And it looks like the deer could probably bed there the rest of the day, so we're gonna make a move.
Micah and I are trying to stay as one because we're walking about 400 yards to the east with these group of mule deer. None of them have seen us yet. We're moving pretty slow. We can't loop around any further because this fence right here behind me is the property line. So we're just slowly working down the edge, hoping that they don't see us until we can get behind the hill and hopefully sneak in for a shot.
Made it safely across that opening. They kind of looked our way, but I don't think they were spooked at all. Most of them didn't even notice. So we got one more draw to go and we should be able to peek down and see them.
It's decent. It's gonna be pretty still. I like it when it's still. It's easier to make a 20-yard shot.
Like when it's windy, it's easier to get to 20 yards.
It's easy, then how is it even fun?
Well, it still ain't easy. Still ain't easy.
Something spooked those deer for a little bit. 4 or 5 of them got up. They were all looking downhill, kind of the way we came. We thought it might have been our wind, but they settled back down and bedded down just a little bit to the left in kind of a better position maybe. But there's still 2 up quite a ways from the 2 shooters, so it'll be really tough to get down there. I think we're just going to work down here and just be really careful, and maybe those other 2 small ones will feed over the hill eventually. That buck was here. He had me pegged here for a little bit, but I'm in the shade. And he just kind of lost interest and walked around, so we're gonna keep going down.
That stalk didn't work out. I don't know what happened, but they ran about 200 yards and we saw some of them bed down. I think they're all gonna bed down there, so we're gonna grab our pack, slip around, and get in front of them.
this work out, does it?
There's not much you can do about that. Got to 50 yards and all I could see was their antlers. Got on my knees to potentially maybe make a shot, and they stood up and walked dead away. And now they're at 200 or 300 yards, so.
Not today.
Not today. Seen 51 deer so far. The sun's just coming up. Couple decent bucks, nothing that's for sure a shooter, but we'll keep looking. Some might pop out. Well, it's our last morning of the trip, and we saw 68 deer this morning. No shooter spotted, so I think our last ditch effort's just going to be get down in the creek bottom and glass and see if we can see anything bedded. We've got about half a day today, and then we got to head out. So we'll see what happens. Well, we glassed from the top of this hill down this creek bottom, and we can't really see in here. There's a little hill here, pretty much runs all the way along it, so we're just going to get in the shadows here. We got the wind in our favor, and we're just going to slip up here. I've got the heads-up decoy on. It's worked for us in the past, so maybe if a deer sees us before we see it, it just stands up and looks at us. See what happens.
See what happens.
There you go, I said it again.
That's a good sign. Probably from this spring. See that deer trail? Looks like the hop in there. There's deer here on the fence. These get spot breakers down. This first pasture that we were in had cattle in it, has cattle now. So all the grass is really grazed down and some of the branches are kind of smashed down a little bit. But this next one on the other side of this fence doesn't have any cattle, and the grass is probably 3 feet taller, so there's way more cover, way more food for the deer. So I think the deer are going to be probably in this one. It's got to be a deer trail right there. There's hair on the fence over there where they hop the fence. And there's a trail right here, right alongside the creek. Just looked up and saw a deer's back. It's a pretty nice buck. I think maybe one of the biggest ones in here that we've seen anyway. You just bedded down. There's another 4x4 right by, and there's probably more deer around, but we're about 130 yards out. We're in the shadows. We've got a good wind. We're gonna drop our packs and get closer. He's pretty nice. He's bigger than I thought he was. I mean, he's not huge. He's not huge, but when he looked at me, he was outside his ears. And he's tall. Yeah. I thought he stripped his velvet, did he? No, he's full velvet. Is he? Yeah. 4x4 looks better down on his right side of his face. The 4x4 is standing, facing our way, but he's just feeding. Other one's bedded. I'd really like to slip up there without him knowing we're here, but it's so so dead calm right now, and all these cottonwood leaves are super, super loud. So we're just going to use the trees and use the shadows to get as close as we can. And hopefully, if they do see us, they'll just stand up and look at us, and we'll have the decoy, so hopefully it'll spook right away. But that's the goal anyway. I see them both. The 4-point or 8-point is better than her. The 8-point is facing that way, the other one's facing that way. Perfect. Hopefully the wind's okay. That 8-point doesn't have long tines at all. He's not very big. So I'll do my best to shoot the other one. The 8-point's facing that way now. looking this way. They're just feeding, but they're facing this way, so.
Feeding, walking this way, or just turn this way?
Just turn. They're walking this way now.
I bet they come back.
They might. They do need to get in the shade.
less than 20. My camera battery went to low. I thought I was going to die. That was great. That was awesome.
I wonder if they winded us.
Yes.
Because they all 4 of them picked up their heads. Man, if that little buck wasn't there, it would have been perfect because I could have drawn back. It would have come up over the top. He was quartering kind of hard there. So
You could have taken it.
I'm really low. I'm pretty low. I could barely see really where it would have been. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I was up like that, it might have been okay.
That was awesome.
So close.
That was so cool. The wind is just so shifty in here. I can't believe it was as good as it was or as long as it was.
I know. I thought they were going to win this a long time ago.
That's crazy.
That bigger buck kind of looked this way, but it's like he didn't even see the decoy.
You didn't?
I think that small one was the only one that did. I don't even think that one that ran off never saw the decoy.
I think he did. He just didn't look at it. You know what I mean?
He just saw movement or something.
Yeah. I think he just looked this way. That's probably because the 4x4 was looking this way. That was nuts. How cool is that? My back's so sore from just holding the camera like this.
Yeah. My legs were falling asleep, so I had to move, and I knew I couldn't shoot from right there. There's logs and stuff.
I figured you were good sitting right there. Would you have had a shot when he was standing there looking at you?
Right there. While he was quartering too. So, it would have been pretty crazy, because if he would have heard it and turned, he would have turned it right into it.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have taken that shot. If he took like 1 step up or 2 steps up, it would have been perfect.
That was intense. How far?
What?
How far was it?
About 24. This one was at like, that one was at like 10 or 12 yards staring at us.
That was cool.
That really couldn't have worked out any better. We didn't even know they were here. We just knew they bedded somewhere in this creek bottom. And we probably walked half a mile or so, 3/4 of a mile all the way down. And I spotted them before they spotted us, and we made a slip in. But they were first bedded right there, so it's like they were coming back to their original beds or something.
That's crazy.
My GoPro rolling.
What?
It's not.
Probably died.
No, it didn't. I pressed the button and I must have shut it off. I couldn't,
Yeah.
I lost track of what was happening with the turn because I turned it on and on and off.
I wasn't sure if you had it on or not.
It would have been cool if I had it on.
I got some cool
It would have
footage.
been really cool if I had it on. Dang.
Once that 4x4 came over, I didn't want to zoom the lens because I didn't want to spook him, because that's what spooked that one time in December.
Yeah.
So I just waited. I was all the way zoomed out.
You could see me and the deer and
Yep. All clear as day. You can see all of them.
that close. Can't really do anything else.
He was kind of wanting his velvet to come off. He was
Yeah.
scraping those antlers a little bit on the weeds.
Yeah,
but
he was his right main beam was hard horn a little bit.
yeah.
He had that like curl of a brow tine. I don't
Yep.
think he had a brow tine on his right side.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
I think so,
I
yeah.
didn't see it.
I'd have to look at the footage, I guess.
Yeah, his left one was like curled down. He had pretty tall tines too. Well, what time is it? think I'm head home. Noon.
At that time.
We could probably get close, but it might take 5 more hours.
I don't know. Depends how far they went. We'd have to walk all the creek all the way down, and they might not be in the creek. They might be in the weed patch.
Are there weeds over there?
They all ran that way. Like over the hill.
I think they went up over that way, though. I don't think they went that way. Dang.
Well, that gives us another excuse to come back.
That's what I was thinking.
Come back in October when all the big mule deer move in.
I think I had my release on. I had my release on my string, or at least an arrow on, about to shoot 5 times in the past 2 days.
That's nuts. We definitely wouldn't have gotten that close without that decoy, I can tell you that.
No.
There ain't no way. It's almost like the one saw it and they just started walking over here.
Yep.
It came from a long ways too.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to work out. Once that 4x4 started to come to the right though, I knew it was going to catch our wind, and I thought that big one was going to be down in the creek and not come up, but came right to the edge. It's crazy how they put so much attention on that decoy, like I'm in the wide open, you know? And they didn't even look at me.
Really?
They don't look, you know, they look right at the decoy. It's kind of crazy.
That's cool.
I'm holding this big old camera with a big white thing
Big
for
white thing.
microphone.
Yeah. I'm gonna look where their beds were.
Yeah. So that was cool.
It was cool. It really worked out pretty much perfect. Like I said, it's about, I'd say that one was probably 99.9% perfect.
It literally was.
It wasn't 100%.
We did just about everything we could have.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, if that 4x4 wouldn't have came first,
You'd be toast.
I thought he was going to stay on the other side of the creek and come down. That's what I told you. I don't know if you could hear me, but I was like, 4x4 is going to win us.
Oh, I heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I knew.
So I was thinking,
he was
like,
coming down.
I was thinking, like, if he had a shot broadside on the other side of the creek and the other one, that's what I was thinking. Like, if he was coming, but
He already
didn't.
crossed by the time this one was through.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, though, like, when I said that, if he would have came on the other side, because if he would have came
I
on
was
the other
kind
side.
of hoping he would, so he wouldn't be so close, but
Yeah.
he didn't. Oh, well.
That's crazy. That's fun. I can't wait to do that again.
Well, we've had an amazing past couple days. Yesterday I got to 40 yards, a group of 12 mule deer bucks, 4 different times, and never got a shot, never got drawn back or anything. It was just that close each time. Either the wind swirled, or they saw us, or they heard something, or something happened. But man, we got close. We got to watch a lot of really up close deer action, like 20-30 yards on some of the smaller bucks, and it was really cool to just see them in their natural environment. But today we got pretty close, about 24 yards, to a really nice whitetail and a couple others, so didn't have a shot. But man, it's been an absolute blast past couple days here in western Nebraska. Season opened a couple days ago, so we've got a couple months left here in Nebraska to bow hunt deer, so hopefully we can come back out here in a couple weeks and try to get on these bucks again. Good.